For people on Instagram, we are doing a DIBS live webinar today. This is in regards to insurance, CRM, automation, and AI. You're welcome to join if you're not in those categories, but it'll probably mostly just apply to insurance brokers and agents who want to implement automation and artificial intelligence in their workflows. We're waiting for the subscribers to join the webinar before we begin, but we've gone live in the meantime, so we'll give it a few moments for everyone to make it, and then we'll go from there. Hey! I'll be sharing my screen and showing you all the ins and outs of the system so that you can really grasp onto the concept of what we're doing with the CRM. You get to see like a deep dive look into how things function and what makes it special, so to speak. The link is also available on Insurance DIBS website, so that's insurancedibs.com. If you click on the DIBS Toolbox link, it will take you to the webinar page there, and you can access the link on the website directly to the meeting itself. Hey, Travis.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Not bad at all.
Good, good.
Thanks for letting me in.
Of course. We'll get started in a few minutes. We've done a couple of these webinars so far. They've been more on a one-on-one basis instead of with a crowd of people. The response has been such that we received so many questions and interest on the programs that we decided to do a group webinar instead. And so this is our first live group webinar, hosting the product and kind of just explaining how you can build your own. This CRM system is one that is accessible through Go High Level. So DIBS Toolbox is powered by Go High Level. Anyone can, register for Go High Level. Go High Level is a CRM platform that's available to the public for any business owners and such. And essentially what makes it so special is that it's a really robust platform that allows literally thousands of different automations, tools, integrations, and that kind of thing to be customized by you. So if you do sign up directly through Go High Level, it can, be a lot of work because you get kind of like a blank slate. And I remember when I first signed up for them, this was like about 5 or 6 years ago. It took us about 2 years to really learn the program. And so with that said, we spent a few $100,000 perfecting all the integrations and things that we have selected to go with. I don't think I'll ever be able to explore every single automation that they offer or every single integration that they offer till the day I die, because there are literally thousands upon thousands of them. So my team and I really just kind of looked at things from a sales perspective to try and identify what would be the things that make the most sense in our sales workflow, our customer service workflow, and a management perspective. And so we, did a trial and error test on each of the things that we've implemented now. There were a lot of things that didn't make the cut, many things that did, and that's kind of how we built the system. So it took us, again, a couple years to learn and figure out what worked its magic on, in our business and the insurance business. Go High Level is used amongst many different industries. There are people who are marketing agents. There are people who are travel agents, healthcare businesses, all different kinds of companies use the CRM. They also have a very amazing program, white label program that you can participate in. Of course, that costs money. And so we do participate in that program. We pay the fee to white label the program under our own branding. We've been able to build what they call a custom snapshot that we've designed fully for insurance brokers. And we're currently also working on a real estate platform as well, because as many of you know, insurance and real estate kind of go hand in hand. You need one to do the other. So we have a lot of clients in our email list and just connections that I've built over the years that also are interested in these types of offerings. And so essentially after we built the Insurance DIBS Toolbox, we are now expanding into the real estate market as well with a lot of the same offerings, but that would be a different webinar that we'll host at some other point to address the real estate market and that kind of thing. In today's webinar, we'll be going over the insurance DIBS platform. And just to kind of give you a background as to where this started to begin with was when I was opening my agency back in 2018. I really wanted the agency to be able to go, fully remote, green, and digitized. And at that time, there were no CRM systems that really sustained that business model. I still believe that today there aren't any CRMs that fully sustain that business model to its capacity. And so what happened was I started to sign up and register, kind of test out every CRM that I could get my hands on. I'm talking, Better Agency, Easy Links, Hawksoft, any Applied, Epic, anything that you could think of, I was signing up for to test their systems and see if it would give me the capabilities that I needed to run a mobile office on the internet. And, of course, to my surprise, none of them really could withstand that type of business model. It was too new of a business model. A lot of them offer really great features, but within those features, they have a lot of gaps. And so I would sign up for something and then I would say, okay, I wish it did this, that, and the other. And then I would find another solution that would offer those things, but not offer the other things that I liked about the first system I was with. And so I kind of just bounced around and did some market research. With this system that I've built, I basically chose all the things that were most important to me to run a digitized model, and I just went full steam. And so it took thousands of dollars and lots of years, like I said, but I think we've got it to a point now where it's really sustainable and it's something that should be offered to the public. And I'm not the first to offer, Go High Level snapshot. Like I mentioned, Go High Level is a platform that does partnerships with anyone who wants to design and create CRM systems for different industries. I am one of their first insurance agents that's done this. There is another competing platform that you can check out, but I would say that it was probably designed by someone that isn't necessarily working within insurance. It seems more of a technical aspect that they have that perspective more so than someone who's selling insurance day in and day out. So if you sign up for Go High Level services, it's $99 a month. I think that's the price. I haven't checked it in a while. I think it's $99 a month for a single user. For purchasing other people's snapshots, prices are set at different price points. Our price point is $197 per month if you go on a month-to-month basis. It's cancelable anytime. You're not committed or stuck in a contract, so you can get in and get out if you don't like it. If you pay it annually, you do get a discount. It brings the price down to about $177 per month. With our platform, we do offer a lot of support. So if you become a DIBS Toolbox member, we have a WhatsApp group that you can join, but we also offer Tech Tuesdays and Wednesday workflows that are live webinars, essentially, where you can join Zoom calls with every single team member on my team that helped me to design my systems, and you can ask them any questions pertaining to any technology that you're exploring at that time, and most likely they'll know how to answer the question. I work with a team of virtual assistants, again, backing my digitized agency model and the green and remote workflow that we have implemented. So all of my team members are virtual. A lot of them specialize in different categories. Some are social media managers, some have computer science degrees, some do coding. There's a lot of different things that they can bring to the table that they can offer you. So I would say that's probably one of the biggest bonuses, is being able to pick their brain and really get their opinions and help to work through whatever issues you're having pertaining to the CRM system, or even if it's not pertaining to the CRM system, if you have a question on ManyChats or whatever it might be that you're trying to explore on your side as far as technology is concerned, join Tech Tuesday. That's free access to you if you're part of the DIBS Toolbox. Wednesday workflows are designed for you to ask any questions on, how to implement your workflows, what type of ideas you might be able to automate, what kind of AI you can implement to solve specific problems and that kind of thing. So Wednesday workflows, again, free to anyone who is a DIBS Toolbox member. And if you're not a paying subscriber of DIBS Toolbox, again, you can chat us in the DIBS Toolbox WhatsApp chat. You have access there. It's free. It doesn't require a subscription. You can post your questions there. We'll do our best to help you. Again, my entire team is accessible through the chat, so anyone that pertains to the topic that you're addressing will respond to you as promptly as possible to help you find a solution to your issues that you're having with technology or workflows. So going a little further, there are a lot of AI and automation platforms that are popping up these days. And I'm seeing really crazy prices for them. Like most recently, I saw one that was actually featured in the Insurance Journal. I don't remember what they're called, like Super Agent or something like that. Their branding is green and black. I'm sure you'll come across them in the near future, but essentially they're selling AI agents, AI voice agents. I think it's for $150 per AI voice agent. And then they're selling training agents to help train insurance agents through artificial intelligence for $4.99 a month. And I believe they offer some sort of group plan that's about $2,000 a month. Essentially, the reason I'm pointing these out is because all of these things that they're selling at a standalone cost is included in the DIBS Toolbox plan. So inside of our CRM system, we host a plethora of different automations and AI agents and that kind of thing. AI voice agent is included in the price mentioned. You do not pay extra for AI voice agents in terms of subscription purposes. You do pay on a cost per use basis for your cell phone, SMS, phone, and email services, but it's at such a fractional cost. It's like 0.0003 cents per call, I believe. So if you're someone who gets, let's say, like 50 calls a month into your incoming CRM platform, I don't know, it's probably roughly like $20 to $40 a month in usage charges. But again, it's all per usage. So it's not something that you have to pay up front. So you have your monthly subscription and then you pay per usage on the AI voice agents, the phone services, the SMS provider, and that kind of thing. We also have lots of integrations in the DIBS system itself. I will go over that on the next I'm going to screen share in just a couple of minutes here and give you kind of an in-depth dive into exactly what the system looks like, how it functions, and that kind of thing. For people who are on the live and not on the webinar itself, where you don't see my screen, there's integrations with reputation management. So essentially, you can set up your CRM system to track anytime that your name or your brand is mentioned on the internet across a multitude of platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anything you can think of. It integrates with Google Analytics. It integrates with Office 365 and G Suite services. I personally use G Suite services, so for us, it's all about Google My Business, Gmail services, and that kind of thing. You can also integrate Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, so you can have all of your responses in one local place. You don't have to check Instagram for a DM and Facebook for a DM and then WhatsApp Messenger for a text, or your SMS, your cell phone, your team member cell phone, that kind of thing. Everyone has one shared local place to speak with clients. It also is really great for errors and omissions purposes because it keeps an indefinite record of all of your communications. It keeps a record of the phone calls. It keeps a record of every document that was texted in or out of the agency. So that's really nice for record keeping purposes. In my agency, I've had instances where people will say, you never told me this or you never told me that. And it's really nice to be able to get back into that system and see the exact conversation that was had, whether that was with Johnny in my office or Tammy in my office. It doesn't matter who it was with. We just look up the client contact and everyone's communication is located in one place. Another thing that you can do is use the system as a social media planner, so you can schedule posts and things like that. You can use it to track Google Analytics and Facebook ads. I personally don't do paid ads, but it's a really nice feature to have that all in one centralized location. You can also do email marketing. Another benefit of it is that you can build sales funnels and courses within the platform as well. Again, all in one central location. So once you sign up for the system, all of these features are included in the same price. You have one login. You are able to access all these different categories of things in one place, one hub. You can run analytics reports such as, how many leads have you gotten, what your closing ratio is, and that kind of thing. The AI voice agents take incoming calls, they do sales, you can do outbound calls with them as well. There are internal team chats, so if you have something to say to one of your team members, you can use the internal team chats feature and tag each other, so that again that's tracked in one place. There are ready-to-use workflows that I use within my agency that are copied into your system when you sign up, and you can make adjustments to those as much as you please. If you want to create new ones, you can create new ones. If you want to edit the ones that we've already created for you, you can. Even though they're customized to my agency, my voice and my tone, it's a good example to you as to what's possible. And so I think that it's nice to have that feature in there so that you can at least kind of piggyback off of the concepts and make them your own. One huge thing that the CRM system has is DIBS is accessible through the desktop app, but we also have a mobile app that's accessible through the Apple Store and Google Play Store. So whether you have an Android or an iPhone, you can download the mobile app on your phone, sign into the app on your phone, and monitor your opportunities. So in other words, your pipeline, sales pipelines, your customer service, your phone calls, your texting, all of that can be done from your phone. And that makes it really convenient because that way you're not, again, chained to a desk. You don't have to be stuck in an office to work. I have literally worked from the beach in Florida to been in a different country in Mexico and worked, from Cancun, for example. So all from my cell phone. And, clients would never be able to tell the difference because the experience is so seamless from the customer perspective that, my capabilities from my cell phone are the exact same as they are from my laptop. And so one of the biggest things that I preach when it comes to, digitization and bringing your business online is that there's a big difference between having the ability to work from remotely versus being structured to work remotely. Being structured to work remotely makes it so that, again, that experience is completely seamless for the team member, but also for the client. Having the ability to work remotely tends to come with a lot of bugs and mishaps for both sides of the perspective. And so I think it's really important that everyone considers digitization. I think that, as we all know, AI is starting to take over in many ways, and it's not meant to eliminate the human aspect fully, but it's definitely meant to, accelerate the capacity of what humans can do themselves. And so if you're not someone who's exploring AI now and automation now, by the time that it does become mainstream and some of these insurance companies start implementing it fully, it'll be one of those situations where you're left behind. So it's really a good idea now to get in on these kind of, solutions and start to implement them in your agency. That's not to say that you have to sign up for this system. You have so many options. This is just meant to give you an idea and a concept of what it kind of looks like for someone who has done it in their office successfully and is running their agency with AI and automation. Some of the new things that we're exploring that are going to also be added to the membership if you go with us is that the AI voice agents that we have will start to integrate with workflows. We've already started exploring this. So now when someone calls in the agency and the AI doesn't know the answer to the question, it knows to send them links to specific resources to be able to give them solutions. So for example, like in my agency, we don't take any incoming calls when it comes to quoting and new sales. We send them a form link, a web link, so to speak, that's linked to our website. So our AI agent knows to text out the correct links based on the type of business that they're asking for. That's just one thing that you can do. It can schedule calendar calls for you. In my agency, we don't take any appointments. We don't do calendars at all. I do from a business management perspective, but not with new clients. Every sale that we conduct within our agency is done via the web, either email, text, or social media. So my AI voice agent is trained to do things the way that I want it to do things. But of course, when you register for the system, you have the ability to change those prompts and personalize them to your own workflows. So we'll continue to expand on that concept. Another thing that we're going to be adding is kind of like an AI sales agent training offer that essentially is meant to assist your producers in cross sales and understanding policies as to why certain people should have certain coverages. And it'll point out to your team members how you can structure the language in your text or email to sell these products. The last thing that we're going to be adding as well, and we're pretty much ready to deploy this already now. It's not live yet. We're still testing it out, but it's been built and it's fully functional, is an AI agent that I'm calling the name Ellis, which is going to be eligibility specialist. And essentially, instead of you having to figure out where your business is going to be eligible, which carrier to write your insurance policy with, what class code to use to verify the business and that kind of thing, you're just going to be able to chat the bot and say, hey, I have this ice cream business. Which carriers does it qualify for? Which class code should I use? And then it'll spit back the answer to you and tell you this is the NAIC code, these are the SIC codes and that kind of thing. It'll tell you which policies are eligible with which providers, and that will eliminate your time from having to shop provider to provider just to get those declines and that kind of thing. So essentially, it'll help you save some time through the workflow of sales. So this is basically the intro to, DIBS Toolbox. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys now to give you a better deep dive into the system and see if you guys have any questions thereafter. All right, can you guys see my screen? Awesome. Yes. So this is the DIBS Toolbox dashboard. And as you see here, it measures, your opportunity status or your lead status, so to speak, how many opportunities you've won, how many you have open, how many you've lost, how many have been abandoned. Maybe someone changed their mind along the way and never ended up sending you the information. Then you are able to measure how much in revenue you've written, what your conversion rates are per clients, what's your closing ratio, and that kind of thing. By the way, this dashboard is fully customizable. You can go up here and change all the widgets to, display the things that are most important to you. I like mine set up this way because I track certain things. Like, as you see, the stage distribution, I like to see at a glance how many things we have in underwriting, how many things we have pending for sale for the client to pull the trigger and make a payment, for example, or how many clients have come back to us in a redemption file is what I like to call it, which essentially means that they had told us no, and then later went and got prices somewhere else and decided that those prices weren't favorable, so they came back to us, for example. I also like to measure how many sales we've lost and that kind of thing as well. You can track your tasks. This is also a task management platform. So if one of your team members assigns something to you, or maybe you assign something to yourself for customer service purposes, updating a lien holder, adding a driver, or that kind of thing, you can have it accessible in this widget here, but you can also see it under your notifications panel here. My notifications are clear. I don't have any now, but you're able to track it there. Your lead resources, you can track where those resources come from per client referral basis, chat widget on your website, Google referrals and that kind of thing. And it breaks it down in the values and what percentage of those leads you have won. So you can really focus on the referral resources that make you the most money. My Google Analytics are pulled into my dashboard, so you can see how many website clicks, page views I get and that kind of thing. As you see, I do 0 paid views. I get about 3,000 organic views and 12,000 direct views on my website. This last month, we had about 11,000 visitors, and then it kind of breaks it down further for you. You can also look and see how many people have visited your Google My Business profile. It'll also measure your Google reviews, which I'll get to in just a few moments. It'll show you your Google ad spend, your Facebook ad spend. This is more like a sample. I have not done any Google ads or Facebook ads, but I know a lot of you do, and so it's nice to have that integrated here. So again, this is fully customizable. You can change the layout of it as you please. It's not something that's stuck in any shape, way, or form. On the left-hand panel here is your menu guideline, and if you click on the conversations panel, you will see here that you have access to all your clients. This is our unread screen. If you go to the recents, it's literally the indefinite version of all the conversations that were ever had in our agency. You can see here that clients can text you photos or PDFs of certain things of whatever you might be looking for. You can see which one of your team members has responded to these requests. So sometimes the client might be thinking that they're speaking to Johnny and it's really Jane that's responding. That's neither here or there. The client doesn't necessarily need to know that they're speaking to this person or that person, but it is nice that someone from your team is able to respond. From an internal perspective, it's nice to see who's doing what. So if there was ever a question about what was said, I could go back to this person and say, hey, you sent this message at this date and time. Why did you say this? Or what happened in the conversation that made you go this route, or whatever it might be. It also tracks phone calls. So I'm just going to scroll up a little further to show you guys a phone call. Let's see, maybe I can do it on this other call. Here we go. So yeah, you can play the phone calls back indefinitely. Again, it's really nice because then there are no questions of he said, she said. Sometimes people forget what the conversations are that we've had with them. So not only are the phone calls recorded and you're able to play them back at any point in time, you are also able to receive a transcribed version of those phone calls. So for me as a business owner, I don't need to be involved in every phone call that my team has, but every phone call that's made, it sends me a transcript of that call to my email that I can review later. So I don't have to bother my team with, admin tasks such as having to report back to me at the end of the day. I would rather have them selling and doing the things that they love the most. And then if I have any questions or problems with one of the phone calls that they've had, I can refer to this transcript and see, if there was some sort of training opportunity, then I can go back to them and say, hey, when you did this phone call at this time, this is what I would have done different, and that kind of thing. You see here that you have the ability to text, WhatsApp, and email all within the same panel. You have the ability to call the client here. This is the client contact card. You can call them there. And you can also put the client on like a do not disturb if for some reason they said, hey, we don't want to do business with you anymore. Maybe they don't want to receive text messages. We're compliant with all the call regulations and non-solicitation standards and that kind of thing. You can enable do not solicit for emails, for Facebook Messenger, all different kinds, or you can kind of just enable it in totality for the entire client profile. You can also manage in the same conversation panel your inbox. Those are things that have been assigned to you specifically. And then I mentioned the internal team chat. This is where team members can chat with each other about different things that are going on in the moment. So this is also accessible from the mobile app on your phone. Again, this has been really convenient and I would say game-changing for our team members because they're not stuck to their desk. They can be at any place at any time and they get access to the app. They can see who's calling, who's asking questions, what needs to be done. And we all kind of work on a team basis. So we all help each other in responding to people and that kind of thing. It's all measured. If there are any questions, we can all get back to each other and help each other to understand what happened. These documents that are transacted between us and the client, when we send them a file or when they send us a file, those documents are housed in this platform indefinitely as well. So you'll always have access to them. You can also upload documents to the portal. Like, for example, if you wanted to upload proof of insurance or certificate of insurance or whatever it might be for later purposes for the client to be in case the client requests that information and you wanted to have it in the portal to share it with the client, you can do that as well. I personally have a cloud system that I save client files on, and this is kind of my backup system. It's always good when you're working with technology. It's important that you have a multitude of, backup plans because sometimes technology goes down and you don't want to be in a situation where you are only housing documents in one location and that system goes down. Now you lose all your records. So it's definitely really important to keep a backup in multiple places. So here on the conversations panel, like I said, you can access the client's contact directly by clicking on it, and then it takes you to the client contact card, which you will see on the screen share that you can put in like their business information and all different other kinds of information, a contact source, lead source. If you've sent them proposals, you can attach them in the section as well. You can tag the client to say something like, I don't know, they were a referral from a real estate office, or maybe they were a Google lead or whatever it might be, because you can, at any point in time within your contact base, create smart lists, and those smart lists you can market to directly based on whatever criteria it is that you want to include. And so I know some agents like to market people from, let's say we did an event, a live event at a soccer game or something like that. So we would tag those clients that we've input into the system so as soccer game event, and then we can market those clients directly. So that's what some of the capacity that you can, have with the contacts. On the same conversation panel or in the contact panel, you can also set tasks for, like I said, yourself or for other people in your team. You can take notes. We take notes on everything that we transact in the business. That makes it easier to refer to, if you need to come back to it later. You can set appointments. I mentioned this before. We don't do appointments because most of our business is transacted online and most people just purchase on the spot. But if you have a business that has a nature of needing appointments, you can integrate your calendar into the system and have the AI book calendar appointments for you, reschedule those appointments for you, and really be flexible in terms of dealing with your client. You can also, in one place, very easily access documents if any documents have been transacted between you and the client. You can also, we have Stripe integrated into the system. So if you want to, as a merchants provider, so if you need payments from a client for any purposes, you can send payment links from this panel as well. So that pretty much sums up the conversation panel. You can also save templates. If you look down here, there are some other options. There's I have different templates for different things. That makes it easy. Instead of having to type the message over and over, we just go on there and we click the templates. You can assign different campaigns to different clients, and you can use emojis. That's a cute little feature that you can do there. Also, when you're texting your clients, there's an AI bot, or when you're emailing or WhatsApping your clients, there's an AI bot that will suggest messages based on whatever your latest interaction was with a client. So essentially, it will craft messages for you without you having to really do much work. It'll gather the information from your latest conversation, and then based on that information, it will suggest what it thinks that you need to say next. So that also saves some time, and a minute here, a minute there ends up being an hour at the end of the day. So anything that we can do to speed up your process in sales and customer service is what we've designed this system to do. So here's your calendar appointments view. Mine is empty because, again, I don't take any client appointments. Then you've got your contacts panel. One thing that's really nice about the contacts panel is that you can access this panel for clients that you've input into the system, but also we've designed the system that any phone call that is incoming to the agency, regardless if they're already an existing client or not, the contact will be automatically integrated into your contact list and saved per the caller ID. That's a really nice feature because I can't tell you how many times someone has called the agency, and I may have had a new team member working at the office that, took the message but didn't take the return phone number, the callback number. And so this way, every conversation is tracked, whether we store the contact or not. I can go back and refer to the phone numbers that are listed in the contact list based on the date and time that they called, and I can listen back to those calls to figure out who I need to respond to. So that's a really nice feature to have. In the opportunities panel, that's basically your pipeline, which you can use for different purposes. I have a sales pipeline, a customer service pipeline, a reshop or renewal pipeline, a referrals pipeline, and that kind of thing, where I measure different things. The nicest thing about the pipeline is, for me, I've integrated Zapier with my CRM, and what that does is essentially it automates the entire workflow from A to Z for me. So instead of what we used to do is we used to take calls from clients or emails from clients that were requesting quotes, and then we would manually tell them the things that we would need, like what's your coverage, we need your deck page, we need your driver's license, whatever it might be. We've simplified that process now, and essentially we've created web links that we text out to people, or the AI texts it out to people. And then when the client submits the form, including the attachments of their declaration page, their driver's license, and whatever other criteria we need for that business, the form link is sent to the CRM system, and the CRM system then disperses it through the automation, which essentially links it to our cloud filing system. And so now, instead of a human being taking that data, extracting the data, saving it, let's say on their desktop or on the cloud, having to create a folder A to Z, like by last name, having to categorize the forms that are being submitted, to relabel the forms, to name it declaration page for auto, or proof of prior insurance, or lender insurance request, or whatever it might be, my team never lifts a finger. The entire system is automated from A to Z. So as long as our team is submitting that link, or forwarding that link to the client, and the client is submitting the form themselves, the computer takes it from there, creates the file, labels the file, organizes the file, labels the documents, organizes the documents, and inputs all that criteria into our CRM system by creating a new opportunity ticket. Then it also alerts our team and says, hey, you have a new lead, to which our team at that point, all they have to do is find a price. So instead of them having to file paperwork, scan, fax, upload, email, all these different things, all of that has been cut out for them entirely, and now the AI does it for them. For us, that's saved about 45 minutes per client, every single client. So this has eliminated hours throughout the day of, bogged down work of doing things that don't make money, doing things that cost money, essentially. So that's been really game-changing for us. It's also been foolproof because it's an AI that's reading this data. It eliminates a lot of that human error. So another thing that it does, it searches our cloud for duplicates. So then if there are outdated records, it will replace the outdated record with a new record. And that's really been critical because a lot of times our team members or human beings will forget a step or two and that kind of thing. So the AI will do it for you, and that's really been nice. So once that new ticket is created in this pipeline, there's a new ticket that's put in. It has the customer's name. You can assign the team member that's going to be working on this. So you can assign whoever's in your office that wants to claim the ticket or the lead. You can have the ability to put them into different stages. You can, again, take notes from here, assign tasks, and do different things, book appointments, and that kind of thing. But essentially, in our office, the workflow is claim the ticket, and once you start working on it, you move it from the pipeline stage of shop new lead request into the working stage. And so what it does, when you click and drag this ticket on, the customer now gets a notification that says, hey, your quote is underway. That's been really nice because now it eliminates that need for the client to have to communicate with you and say, hey, did you get my information? The system tells them, hey, we got your information and the quote is underway. That's been really nice. Again, foolproof, less errors, and that kind of thing. As far as communication is concerned, the client's always feeling like we're communicating with them, at a rapid pace, and they really feel that personalized experience. That's been really good from a customer service perspective because it really makes it feel like we're present, even though, it's obviously our AI that's backing our progress throughout the way. So from this stage, once our team members work on the price, they're able to, once they get the price, they'll update the ticket, and then they'll move it either to the underwriting review stage, because it might be with an underwriter and we need to have, approval from underwriting and that kind of thing, and they'll take notes, or they'll move it into the quote ready stage. And if it goes into the quote ready stage, the client then gets automation text emails that essentially say, hey, client, your old price was this, your new price is this, would you like to sign up with us? And essentially all the client has to do at that point is say yes or no. If they say no, then the automation knows to respond and say, would you like to book a call to have a conversation about any questions you might have? If it says yes, then it'll ask them if they want a payment link. And then if they want the payment link can also be automated and sent out to them. So essentially it cuts your closing time by a tremendous amount of effort, because now instead of your team having to get on the call and do all these closes for the sale, it's the AI that's doing it for you. The CRM is doing it for you. If you don't get an answer from them, we have the balls in their court stage, where essentially we put the ticket in there and it lets the client know, hey, your quote is ready to go. Maybe the client has said, I need some more time. I need to talk to my wife. I need to talk to my husband, whatever it might be. I need some time to think about it. Then we throw it into that stage, and it will alert them after a few days and kind of ping them and say, hey, have you made a decision? At that point, yes or no. If they make a decision to go with us, we move it into the 1 category, and we have 2 1 categories, either for existing clients or for new clients. I think that it's really important that new clients understand your workflow and how you want them to work with you. So when our new clients sign up and we put it in the new client category, there's a triggered onboarding video that gets sent to them. It's a short YouTube video that essentially just explains our responsibilities within the relationship and their responsibilities within the relationship. So it sets clear boundaries and expectations as to why certain things need to be done certain ways. And I'll give you an example. One big example is that clients don't understand or know automatically that the insurance provider is not notifying you of every single thing that happens on their account. Oftentimes, insurance providers will only notify the client. And so that can cause some mishap to, within the relationship. If the client isn't aware, if you're not letting them know, hey, the insurance company doesn't let me know every time that they send you a message or whatever it might be, a letter or whatever it might be. So it's really important that if you get anything in the mail, you let me know. That way I have the opportunity to fix it. That right there, that small tone shift and expectation has done wonders. You know, now clients know that when they get something in the mail, it's not Majda that's sending them that information, and it's not my team that's bothering them for additional documents and that kind of thing. They understand that it's the insurance company that's doing that, and we're here to help them solve it. So that's why that's one of the reasons why that onboarding video is really important. But other reasons would be like set your office hours, how to contact you, like your phone number. Is it best to contact you via email or whatever it might be? What happens in a claim and that kind of thing. So these are some topics that are in that onboarding video, and every new client to our agency gets that onboarding video. I can't guarantee that they're going to watch it, but even if they don't watch it, I can always refer back to it and say, look, per the screenshot, we texted you this information when we first, you know, signed you up. I can resend it to you again for clarity and that kind of thing. And that's done a lot for us. It's really helped us to alleviate some of that stress. If it's an existing client, obviously I don't want to send them the onboarding video multiple times. So I'm going to put them in the category that just says one existing client. Then we've got a lost category in case that you can't help them save money. We can put them in a lost category that says, you know, good news, bad news. Good news is you already have the best deal. Bad news is we can't help you save money this time. But it sets them up for a nurture campaign to let them know that we can reshop them 6 months to a year from now again. So that's a really nice thing to have because, again, it does it all automated. Then we've got a lost category where we just didn't hear back from the client. Maybe they just ghosted us. And that tends to get a response from them. So essentially, we move them into that category, and then the lost category will send a message that says, hey, we haven't heard from you, closing your file. Often that'll set a panic under someone, and they'll say, no, don't close my file. I want to do X, Y, and Z. And so when that happens, we move them back into what I call the redemption pipeline stage, and that sends them a message that says, hey, your file has been reopened. We will verify that the pricing is still applicable, and if you want to sign up, you can do that. So that's kind of the rundown of my sales pipeline, and that kind of gives you an idea of some of those automations that are at play. It doesn't seem like a lot because I've kind of gone through it so quickly, but if a human were to take these actions, we're talking about, you know, days worth of work. And on average, it would take, I don't know, 3 to 10 business days to close a lead. Sometimes you'd close them the same day. But in order to scale at a rapid pace, it's important that you implement some of this automation and technology to do some of these repetitive tasks for you that you don't need a human being to do, so that the human can, you know, focus on the things that help the business make money. And so there are 2 categories that I divide things into, either, you know, things that cost us money or things that make us money. And so I want our team members to do the things that they're good at, which is sales, generating leads, and that kind of thing. Even the generating leads aspect, you can use AI for. So if you have team members that, you know, hate generating leads and hate networking, that kind of thing, you can have AI set up to implement that as well for you. So that's my sales category, sales pipeline. I also have a customer service pipeline, functions pretty much the same way. You know, a customer has a customer service request. There's a form that they fill out. They select what they need, a COI, proof of insurance, mortgage request, whatever it might be. Whatever they select, once they hit submit, it puts a ticket into the pipeline, assigns it to someone in my team, and it sends the customer a message saying your customer service ticket has been opened. And then at that point, my team, as they move the stages of the pipeline, whether that is spoke to underwriting or customer service ticket complete, it will send the customer notifications along the way. So again, it's saving time on the on the team member side, not having to pick up a phone every 2 minutes to let the client know something or let the underwriter know something, whatever it might be. Instead, the team member gets to focus on the things, you know, that are going to help them make the most out of their day. And so if they can be as hands-off with clients as possible, then they can get through their tasks at a rapid pace. And that's what we call scaling. So that's our service pipeline. These pipelines can be fully customized by you. If you become a DIBS member, you don't have to have them laid out like I do. You can change them completely. You can change the automations completely, but you'll get kind of a template of what I'm doing so that you can have a reference point and you can elaborate from there. Another thing, like I mentioned, we have the payments option. So Stripe integrates into the payment portal. If you need to take agency payments, you can do it that way. There's other reasons that people take payments, maybe their consultation fees and that kind of thing. So it's very simple to get that integrated and, you know, set up into your system. As you see, I'm not going to go over all these different menu options at the top, but there's a lot of different things that you can do in the system. If you need training on these things, join us on a Tech Tuesday or Wednesday workflow, and we'll be happy to go over them with you. The AI agents, getting to the voice agent, I kind of touched on this in the beginning of the meeting. You can implement an AI voice agent to do different things, different tasks. You can have different agents for different things as well. In my office, I have an AI agent that answers all incoming calls. We started with a female voice with an accent. I'm kind of playing around with the system now. I changed it to a man's voice to see if the response will be different from our clients, because of course, you know, AI is so new that some people are much for it and some people are totally against it. So has there been some pushback? Definitely. There's been some clients who've been like, hey, I want to speak to a human. But we've trained the AI to say that in case that they say that, we trained the AI to let them know that a human being will be in touch with them as soon as they're available. The nice thing about it is that it fields calls. And so, you know, we don't have to take in like customer service mortgage updates, lien holder updates, proof of insurance requests from banks and that kind of thing. Typically, those calls take 20 to 30 minutes a call. You know, they're taking you through all these different steps and saying, hey, verify the coverage amount, verify the policy number, verify the deductible. And then at the very end, they're forcing you to send over proof of insurance anyway with a document. And so now the AI voice does that. And of course, they get annoyed having to talk to an AI voice. So instead of doing it via phone call, they send the written request to begin with. And that's eliminated a lot of our time. And so, you know, for us, we have roughly about 9,000 clients, and I probably get about 30 phone calls a week total, including mortgage lenders and things like that. And that's all because of the structure of these systems that we've implemented and all this communication that goes out via text, email, and that kind of thing. So there's always the right expectation that's being set, and people love it. People think it's super convenient to work with us. I'm going to run through these last few pretty quickly because I want to open up some room for questions. Here's our marketing tab. Again, I mentioned the social planner. You can schedule social media posts, Instagram, Facebook, that kind of thing, emails and different things. You know, you can do like ads and all that kind of stuff all here. On the automations panel, there's workflows, campaigns, different things that you can schedule. So, you know, mine is, I don't know how many pages long, but you can explore that as you need, and you can literally get it to do anything. You can take it all the way down to micro steps. You can build funnels, different websites for different products that you have. That's been helpful to us in different ways to be able to sell certain products and drive traffic just to those categories. Then we've got the memberships panel. The memberships panel is in case that you want to sell online courses. You can create a full online course in the system, give people a username and a password to access the online courses, to your coaching program or whatever it may be that you know are trying to sell them. Then your media storage, these are all the documents that have income into the system. So there's all different kinds of stuff here. Your reputation management, this is like your Google My Business reviews, where you can track who has reviewed you, how it's been linked, and that kind of thing. So it tracks all of the activity over your Google My Business. It also has different reputation aspects up here if you look at the top. But again, for the sake of opening up the FAQ, I'm going to run through this a little quickly. The reports, you can schedule, like I said, analytical reports, so you can really break down like how many team members are making calls, what time of the day are most of your calls coming through, you know, what are the lead sources that are generating the most income, just different kinds of ways. How many opportunities have you lost? All different kinds of stuff. If you can think of it, this thing can do it. You have an app marketplace. When we talked about in the beginning, you know, there are thousands upon thousands of different integrations. There are literally thousands of integrations that you can explore here for different reasons, you know, e-commerce, events, different things. So you can explore this and integrate all of these directly into this app. For the DIBS Toolbox purchase, if you guys become members, we have a DIBS demo training area here that walks you through all the basics of how to set up automations, how to choose a phone number for your system, all different kinds of stuff there. And then we've got affiliate links to different things that we use in our agency for different things, like our Amazon store and different stuff. Obviously, this isn't something mandatory. It's really just meant to help you out in case you have any questions on it. You can go to your settings of your business profile, upload your logo, your, you know, address, that kind of thing, really integrate this even more, link your website and that kind of thing. You can manage your staff, so you can have different usernames, different things that you need there. Again, all these different automations, but I think that this basically sums it up for you guys. So the program is cancelable at any point in time. We do also have a $1 trial period. You can sign up for $1, access the system, see if it's a good fit. If it is, then it'll charge you automatically after the trial period is up. If you do end up subscribing as a monthly member, you can cancel at any time. We don't offer refunds, but you can cancel at any time. You're not stuck to being committed to this indefinitely. I mentioned in the beginning of the call that we're constantly expanding the platform. So all the features I've shown you today are features that we have now, but we're continually expanding this. We're going to keep implementing more automation, more AI, and it's only going to get better and better from here. So any suggestions that you guys have, please feel free to share them on the WhatsApp group. Join our WhatsApp group. If you are on social media, I will share the WhatsApp group on my story after the webinar, so you can join it there as well. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or you see something that you would like it to do and you don't see it, offering that service now, let us know. We'll build it out. We're always looking for suggestions from others. We obviously want the system to work for you. And so whatever it is that you say that, you need, we're going to try to make it happen. I don't anticipate the prices changing. As most of you guys know, average cost for a CRM in insurance is about $300 per month per user. Our price is unlimited, meaning the $197 per month is unlimited user. So essentially it's per office. So that alone saves you a ton of money already. You're not having to pay per user. You're paying just a one-time fee, and you can have as many users as you want. We, again, are going to continue to expand the program, try to implement more technology, more automations as things come up. And yeah, we're looking forward to working with you guys. If you have any issues, we'd love to hear from you in the WhatsApp group. If you become a member, join our Tech Tuesday. It's free. You have access to our team at any time. During those calls for anything that's technology related, Wednesday workflows, any workflow related advice you need, sales help you need, whatever it might be, join the calls, let us know. We'll find you guys a solution. Other than that, I think we're ready to wrap up. Thanks for joining, everyone. Everyone on social, thanks for joining, and see you guys later.